Perpetual. Hi. Oh, hi there. I'm Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi on the internet, and I'm here to spoil you. I'm here to tantallate you, to titillate you with some some spoilers, some previews. I have 2 cards to spoil today, 2 cards to preview today, 2 cards given to me for free by Wizards of the Coast. Hashtag free preview. No money has exchanged hands relating to these cards. These cards have been provided for free, with no monetary incentive to make me talk positively about them or the company provided alongside it. They are hashtag free preview. They're also hashtag sponsored, but I kind of resent that because that suggests that you're giving me money, Wizards, and you're not. These cards are free. They are liberated. They are without encumbrance. They are loose, perhaps a little bit slippery, maybe even a little wet. Sorry, I got very fucking distracted there. So let's look at the first of my preview cards. This is Runed Crown. It's a sensual 3-mana artifact, and it's an equipment. It gives the equipped creature +1/+1, and it equips for the low cost of just 2 mana. But wait, there is more. When Runed Crown enters the battlefield, you may search your library, hand and or graveyard for a rune card and put it onto the battlefield attached to Runed Crown. If you search, don't forget to shuffle up, boys. If you haven't seen runes yet, let me show you the one, and I think the only one we've seen during preview season. This isn't my other preview card, by the way. I've got one more inside my bag. Rune of Flight is an aura, and it's a rune, a keyword rune. When it enters the battlefield, it cantrips, which makes our little crown here draw us a card too, if we tutor up Rune of Flight. But it also gives the creature it's attached to flying, or the equipment is attached to the ability to make creatures fly. I like this dual-purpose nature of the rune, and I assume this is the format that all of them will take, buffing a creature or an equipment in the same way. Honestly, this first one isn't terrible, and if the rare ones are a little bit pushed, runes might be a legit deck in standard. The problem with the crown, though, is that the mana needed to get it online is quite high. The crown itself costs 3, it tutors and runes onto itself. It doesn't allow you to mess about with where the rune lands, it has to go on the crown. So you've got 3 mana to go get your rune and put it on the crown, draw a card if a lot of them have card draw attached to them, and then 2 mana to attach it. Of course, though, there are numerous ways to move auras around in this set. It looks like it's like an archetype that's being handed to us. The best example of this, perhaps the best way to see archetypes like this is to look into the rare or the mythic slot, and here we have Halvar, God of Battle. Again, not my preview card, this has been spoiled for weeks since before Christmas. This card allows you to move auras and equipment around. If we see any expensive super rune enchantments, like, I don't know, like something similar or comparable to Eldrazi Conscription, for example, then we might have a stew cooking, some sort of combo synergy in the middle of a aggressive equipment and aura deck. Just all costs a little bit too much mana, if you ask me. So that's the crown that WotC sent me, because they obviously acknowledge that I'm a fucking king. But you want to see something more? You want me to lift up and show you some ankle? Do you want to see something a bit more sexy? Axgard Armory is a land that produces white mana. It's an uncommon, which is nice because we're seeing more and more utility arrive on non-rare lands. That's a really unsexy sentence, Vince. Anyway, I can applaud this, the fact that I put utility on uncommon lands. Enters the battlefield tapped. Okay. Now, I know I've ragged on ETBs before, and I know the sentence enters the battlefield tapped isn't particularly sexy either. I have done videos extensively talking about how Commander players should reduce the number of tap lands they have in their decks down to 10 to 20% at most in order to play their spells and activate their abilities on curve, and therefore have more fun playing Magic. I get it. But you can sprinkle in a little bit of tap lands. And I think this one actually might be good enough in some decks to include. At first, when I looked at my spoilers, I thought they were terrible, but the more and more I thought about this one in particular, I thought, well, shit, this is actually pretty cool. So, what does it do? I'm teasing you. What does it do? Axgard Armory. Was that what it's called? Yeah, Axgard Armory. Show me what you got. It has a 4 mana ability, 2 red, 1 white, and 2 of any other. That's actually 5. I added it up wrong and wrote it into my script wrong, which is the height of sexiness. It taps and it sacrifices. Fuck, it's basically a fetch land. Search your library for an aura or equipment card and put it into your hand. Boy, that's some spicy shit. Honestly, this is a genuinely very unique ability. Now, its cost means that you aren't going to use this reliably or successfully in most 60 card constructed formats, especially in a deck that is base white and red. But in a commander deck that cares about equipments or Voltron, perhaps you're comboing off with Freed from the Real, for example. Maybe Skullclamp makes your deck pop off. Maybe you just need the right sword at the right time to get through someone's defenses and get a hit in. Or perhaps you just need Greaves to haste out of nowhere and you can retrieve it on your opponent's end step with the activation of this card in Commander. Then you just untap and murder someone with your hasty, boot-wearing threat. Here's a fun fact as well. Lands that tutor for things that aren't other lands are incredibly few and far between. The only lands priced to this set that do that are Eye of Ugin, Inventor's Fair, and Maze's End, all of which have been in top tier decks and seen play across multiple Eternal formats. Eye of Ugin is actually banned in Modern, and whilst Eye is banned primarily because of the addition of a cost reducing effect onto that land as well, which is quite wild when you think about it, cost reduction, soul land-esque ability, and a tutor, this land is truly unique in how pushed it is once we got to having low cost efficient Eldrazi. But the point is, even before we had low cost efficient Eldrazi in Battle for Zendikar, it gave Tron a way to have inevitability. It will eventually Emrakul you, for example, if you survive the onslaught of Khans. My point is that tutors are incredibly powerful, and having effects on lands is also incredibly powerful. The reason that having an effect on a land is better than a spell, so for example casting 5 mana to go find an equipment or aura and put it in your hand would be garbage on a sorcery or even an instant. But the fact that it's on your land means the opportunity cost of playing it in your deck is very, very low. What I mean by that is having this tap land in your deck, the worst case scenario is that it's a tap land, so it slows you down for a turn. The best case scenario is that you have a spell stable to a land. That's card advantage. Not only did you hit your land drop, but you got an effect off that land as well, and then that effect is a tutor for a very specific thing that can help you combo or help you consistently assemble a Voltron strategy. Like I said, if you compare it to these other variants of this, even Inventor's Fair is 4 mana to activate, but it's 4 colourless, and it's often played in decks where you have mana rocks because, well, it's an artifact, mana's metalcraft thing going on. So 5 mana and it being restricted to double red and singular white in its cost means that it probably won't be good enough for any 60 card competitive format. But I think this could easily become a commander staple for those decks that care about equipment and auras. So there you have it, there are my 2 spoilers. I'll put them on screen now. I hope they tickled you, metaphorically of course, in places you have longed to be tickled. Here they are, screenshot them, try and share them wherever you can without making reference to this video for the karma. Knock yourself out. Although I've already beaten you to it. By the time you're listening to this, it's already on Reddit. I put it up before the video went out. I actually asked Wizards why I don't get rares. I didn't want to like toot my own horn, but as being one of the larger UK creators and therefore one of the larger in Europe too, I did ask like, is there a reason I'm looked over for rares? I did ask, is it a problem with the reach? Is it a problem with my audience, the reach you want to get to? I just didn't get a reply. So that's nice. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you liked the video, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe as well. There'll be more content around Kaldheim preview season. I am on this hype train, just talking about Kaldheim all fucking week. There will also be gameplay videos. There's more on yesterday. There'll be some more, hopefully on Friday as well. We've got some EDH and Chill coming up. Got all sorts of goodies based around Legacy and Arena and EDH and all the magical goodness. Until next time, I'll see you all soon. Ta-ta for now.